Okay, good morning everyone. I'm today's instructor and I'm going to tell you some things for the effect of the pressure on into the diver's body and into our equipment as well. All of us have this kind of discomfort when we submerge into the water, and we feel that little pain into our ears. The divers generally, but most of them the free divers, and whoever of you have ever made a free dive, maybe has this discomfort with his mask, when his mask put pressure on his or her face, and you have to blow some air into the mask for feeling more comfortable. So, today's lecture will be the effects of pressure to the human body and to our equipment. And after this lesson, you will be able to understand what is happening in our body and in our body volumes, our equipment volumes, and how we can manage with those situations. So, I think it's a very important part of diving, because if we know the dangers, we can always manage with them, and we can keep away from the pressure injuries. So now we are going to see Boyle's and Marriott's law. You know, most of the people, they say Boyle law, but it is not only Boyle's law, it is Boyle's and Marriott. He's another guy that he had the same ideas as Boyle. The places of our body that they keep inside air and they make us a little trouble. The ways how we can equalize those pressures, and what are those parts of our equipment that they are really affected by the pressure. So let's begin with the Boyle's and Marriott law. I like very much the example with the balloon. Okay, everyone knows the example with the balloon. Okay, I have a balloon here with 1 liter of air on the surface of the sea. On the surface we have 1 bar pressure. And after every 10 meters of seawater, we have 1 bar more. So after 10 meters, 2 bars. 20 meters, 3 bars. Yes. This balloon, when it goes to 10 meters of seawater, is getting the half of the volume. When it goes to 20 meters, it's getting smaller, like 3.3 liters of the volume. This is, I would say, the diver's law. As the ambient pressure increases, the air volume decreases, and vice versa. In the human body, we have 50%. The 50% is liquid, and we have 30%, about 30% of air spaces. The liquid is not compressible, but the air is compressible. So, as human beings, we have some parts of our body which keep air inside. So, those parts are our ears, our sinuses, our lungs, maybe some teeth, and sometimes our intestines. By descending into the water, the pressure is growing as a result to push our eardrums inside. So then we have to put some air from our eustachian tubes into the middle ear for equalizing the pressure. There are many ways. One of the ways, the Valsalva way, put some pressure into our middle ear so we can feel comfortable and continue our diving. The same way we can equalize our sinuses. We have 4 pairs of sinuses. The maxillary sinuses, frontal sinuses, ethmoid near the nose, and sphenoid sinuses inside the human skull. And we equalize the pressure almost the same as we equalize the pressure in our middle ear. Our lungs is the place that it can keep the most of the air volume in our body. So when we are underwater, we take air in the ambient pressure. Let's say if I am 30 meters underwater, I take 4 bars air. So after, if I start to ascend and keep this pressure of air inside my lungs, then I'll have a lung expansion, overexpansion. I'll have lung injuries. I have to breathe all the time. This is the first rule of diving, and take out always the air when ascending. Of course, I have to ascend like 9 meters per minute. So if I don't do that, if I keep the air inside my lungs and starting to go up to the surface, then I will suffer lung expansion injuries such as pneumothorax, mediastinal emphysema, subcutaneous emphysema, and lung embolism. We should take care of our food, because if our food is not a good quality, or some special foods, let's say about something like beans, and then we'll create air inside our intestines. So it's better when we are going to diet, to take care of our food, so we don't have such a problem. But all we know the way we can equalize the pressure in our intestines. You know what I mean? And the last of our human body that can take a little bit of air is our teeth. Our teeth, not physically, but let's say we go to a doctor, the doctor has to cover a space of our tooth, and sometimes it is trapped inside our tooth an amount of air. This little amount of air maybe causes some problems when we emerge after the diving, because if inside, you see, it's everything boils and Mariotsula. If we are, let's say, at 20 meters of air and we breathe 3 bar pressure of air, and some of it trapped into our tooth and begin reascending, this volume, what happens? Increases and increases, and maybe we have a blowing tooth. Now let's talk about our equipment, that they have a great effect of pressure. First of all, our mask. We should always blow some air from our nose into the mask. Why? Because we want to equalize this airspace with the ambient pressure of the environment. And we don't want to have a mask quiz in our face. Our BCD and our exposure system, they keep air inside. You know, our exposure system is a material, a neoprene, that there are many bubbles of nitrogen inside for make the insulation, our insulation into the water. We should be ready when we go from the deep to the shallow. We should be ready to get rid of the air we have in our BCD. Because what? Because if we have some amount of air here and we go up, the air is growing, and it may take us to the surface very fast, so we have lung injuries, lung overexpansions, and maybe more problems. So always remember, when you go to shallower depths, to take out some air from your BCD. I can say the last is some of us, we like to dive with our dry suit. Our dry suit takes air inside to make the insulation between the cold environment and our body. So we have to treat our dry suit like our BCD. We go from the deepest waters to the shallower, so take some air out. That's all. I think after this lecture, I have given you at least an idea of what about the effects of pressure in our body, and I think you are good advised, not because I say so, of the effects of pressure to the human body, and of course to our diving equipment. So thank you very much. I hope you have good times, have fun into the sea, and always stay safe. Thank you very much.
Great. And depth. Deep diving is a specialty. This will increase your knowledge on pressure, volume, and how the air in your lungs reacts to the pressure, as well as gives you practice for your ascent rate. So what is the first rule of scuba?
Breathing continuously.
And how slowly should we ascend?
9 slower than 9 meters.
So our main rules are to never hold your breath, to ascend slowly, and never dive alone. We want to dive safe and protect our lungs, and have confidence in the water. So air expands as you ascend, so you don't want to expand your lungs, and having a buddy provides a diver with extra safety and comfort, as well as someone to discuss your experience with. Any questions?
9 meters per minute maximum. In PADI is the same. It's up to every organization, or there are some specific rules that we have to follow.
SSI standards are 9 meters per minute.
Not international standards, SSI standards.
SSI.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I'm sorry I forgot you. Good morning, my name is Frankie. I'm going to be your instructor today. Today we're going to talk about equalisation techniques, which is very important to do the whole time that you're diving. I have 2 objectives for the presentation today. The first is to ensure comfort and safety during the entire dive, especially as you descend, to equalise the pressure, and also to prevent reverse blocks. The value of what I'm going to teach you today: we equalise the pressure in our ears during ascents and descents as a complete safety procedure and to ensure comfort. The overview and what I'm going to cover today is to equalise early and often during the descent, to always breathe continuously and never breath out. This ensures proper equalisation. Never wait for the pain to begin, which is helped by never diving with a cold or congestion. Now, what I'm going to show you is there are 2 ways in which you can descend. One of the normal descents that we do is you descend straight up with a line, and it's equalising every half metre. Another one that we can do is you start from this position, you swim like this as you're going down. So you're lying flat as you descend, and you're going deeper, obviously, as you continue the circle, and then you're swimming over this direction. So you're lying flat the whole time, which actually clears here, so you can equalise more efficiently. So you can't descend in a straight line. This is another way in which you can do that. So there are three ways in which you can equalise. Nick, how do you equalise?
Always Valsalva.
Valsalva.
But sometimes I swallow.
Simone, how do you equalise? Sure. Yes. So another one is rotating the jaw. And the third one, as Nick said, is swallowing. So by doing each of these things, that will equalise the pressure in your ear. The law concerning equalisation is Boyle's law. Boyle's law is, it states, as pressure increases, volume decreases, and as pressure decreases, volume increases. Which means that in the first 5 metres, that's where the highest pressure is. As we go down, the pressure in our ears, after 5 metres, it completely decreases. And as we come up on ascent, the volume in our lungs increases. So that's where we have to equalise the pressure in our ears, and also go very slowly, breathing continuously the whole time. If pain is felt during either ascent or descent, completely stop ascending or descending, and move the meter up, and then equalise until the pain completely stops, and then you can continue your descent or your ascent as well. While you're ascending, the main pressure that you'll get is a reverse block. So this is why we go very slowly. Now this is the Dover diamond, which we're going to cover today. And this is one of the SSI standards that we always refer to. So, I'm also going to tell you what you can do for this is a perfect buoyancy speciality, which I'm doing next week. Which, when we're doing the perfect buoyancy speciality, we cover descending like this, which is another way that's a really interesting thing to do. But we also do fun things concerning your buoyancy. So we swim through rings, so you can control your level in the water, which aids comfort during the dive, and also means that you'll be more experienced, which is something on the diver tablets. And then after today, hopefully I've covered all the knowledge for you that you'll also know. Regarding equipment as well, I have a mask here. If you'd like to pass this around. As you can see, it's got a very soft silicone nose pocket, which can aid equalisation and can also equalise the pressure within your mask, which again aids comfort during the dive and is a safety procedure as well. So we'd just like to continue passing that round. If you'd like to come over here, we'll do a little quick workshop. As I said, during the first 5 metres is the most important place to equalise, and you equalise on the surface. So I would like you to show me, each of you, the way in which you equalise. So Nick, the way? Yeah, the way you equalise. So just do the signal and show me how you equalise.
I equalise like this.
Okay. And Simone, rotate your jaw for me. Okay.
How?
Personally, I swallow during equalisation, which is the third way to equalise, but I like to show my students, I go like this. I blow against my nose. It's not how I do it, but I like to show them. And it's one of the ways also in which you can equalise, and it's better to show your students. So if you could all pinch your nose and blow against your nose for me, and see if your ears pop. We'll all do it now. Did everyone ears pop? Okay, cool. Come on, turn to your seats now. So, I'm going to ask you a few questions. Simone, when do we equalise?
As we're going down.
Yes. And you equalise early and often as well. Nick, which law applies to the rule of equalisation, which I've covered?
The law of equalization, personally.
Well, which law applies to equalisation, which I covered a minute ago? Okay?
I don't remember.
That's okay, no problem. So I'll go over it again. It's Boyle's law.
Boys.
Yeah, and that's to do with pressure. Okay, so as pressure increases, volume decreases, and as the pressure increases, the volume increases as well.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, no worries. So, to summarise the presentation today, my main point was to breathe continuously and never to breath hold. This ensures equalisation of the lungs. It also helps equalisation of our ears as well. My objectives today were to ensure comfort and safety during the dive, both on ascents and descents, and to prevent reverse blockage. And my value is we do this, we equalise continuously. As a complete safety procedure, and to ensure safety and comfort as well. Finally, does anyone have any questions today?
Questions? Yes, I have.
Yes?
Of course I have.
Yes?
I want you to tell me if you ever experienced a near squeeze.
An ear squeeze. To be honest, I have. I was diving once on Canberra, which is a dive we have just over here. It's an absolutely beautiful dive site, which we can take you to as well. It's about, well, you can go quite deep, but I prefer to stay at 80 metres. But it's not sheltered. And I was diving on this particular day, and it was quite rough on the surface. And as I said, the main pressure is within the first 5 metres. I struggled to equalise. I did manage to equalise because I came up a little bit, and then the pain stopped, and then I continued my descent. But I found that I had to equalise more often, just because the surface was more choppy, so your breathing gets slightly heavier, and you're struggling to equalise. But if you do it continuously, which I've said in my presentation, and don't get stressed about it, and if you can't do it, ascend a metre, equalise, and then continue descending, you'll be absolutely fine. However, on the dive and the wall, which we also go to, the dive is actually deeper, so you would think that, oh, I've done Canberra, I should be able to equalise fine. It's the equalisation that you need to do continuously is within the first 5 metres, so it doesn't actually depend on the depth of the dive. Does that answer your question?
Did you feel pain?
If you don't equalise, you will feel pain, a little, but it's very important that you stop at that point. Never force an equalisation. So if you do begin to feel pain, make sure you stop, signal to your body if you're diving properly, your body should be next to you. So just signal, I have a problem with my ears, she'll be with you, you'll go up a meter, and then you'll equalise, and then you can descend.
But at the end, you descended.
Yes.
So you didn't have a squeeze, you only have a problem to equalize in the beginning, but after you went...
Never dive with a squeeze. If you have pain, it's important that you start the dive. If you can't equalise, it's unsafe. So you never ever dive with a squeeze.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Thank you.
Any other questions? Has everyone enjoyed my presentation today?
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Simone.
Hello.
Today I'll be covering the basic rules of scuba. So, first rule of scuba is to breathe down. Not really. So the first rule is to breathe continuously and never hold your breath. Ascend slowly, maintaining control, and never dive below or beyond your limits. The value of this is so that you enjoy safe, comfortable dives. So we're going to cover breathing continuously, ascending slowly, and why you never want to dive alone. So in scuba we work with Boyle's law. So you start on the surface with a balloon this size. As you go under the water and descend, it gets smaller as you go down. And the reverse happens when you come up. So the air expands and gets bigger as you come up to the surface. So if you're not breathing continuously and you're holding your breath, the air in your lungs will be here. But as you ascend, it increases, so it can expand your lungs. So we want to be very careful that we're continuously breathing. Breathing is inhaling and exhaling. So if at any point you lose your regulator, we still want to continue breathing. Exhalation is a part of breathing, so you want to keep small bubbles until you replace your regulator. We also have to ascend very slowly, because if you come up too quickly and you're not breathing properly, the air is going to expand into your lungs. We ascend at 9 meters per minute. So we have safe, controlled breathing as we ascend slowly. We also dive with a buddy, so that if we have any equipment problems, any air problems, or we need help with anything, we have someone there to help us. While we're diving, we want to continuously breathe and maintain buoyancy, so we're not scraping along the bottom, disturbing corals or fish or anything on the bottom. So we want to be careful that we're not crawling along the bottom of the sea. We practice continuous breathing and slow ascent rates so that we can dive safe and comfortable. So I like to keep a dive watch and a computer. Mine is integrated onto my console, so mine is always on my dive system. That way it'll keep track of your depth, time, ascent rate, and also your surface intervals so that you can make sure you're diving safe, comfortable, and you're not ascending too fast. Lots of dives are below 18 meters and they're very beautiful. So if you do want to dive beyond open water, we also do our deep diving specialty. So you can sign up for our deep dive and you can learn how we can dive below 18 meters safely. come over here. And
Only
then breathe, only inhaling? No? So you can't breathe if you're only inhaling. If you're
Yes.
only inhaling, it's only
So
half
for
of breathing.
breathing.
So you still have to exhale to be able to breathe. So breathing is always inhaling and exhaling. So you want to continually breathe underwater, in and out of your regulator, never holding your breath at any point. It's okay.
No?
So our main points that we talked about today was breathing continuously, never holding your breath. We ascend slowly, 9 meters per minute, and we never dive alone, always with a buddy. These are to protect you, your lungs, and help you to enjoy comfortable, safe dives. The values are, so you understand that breathing under the water, if you ascend too quickly, you can have any expansion or discomfort. You also want to have a buddy, so if at any time you need help or air, you can ask your buddy for help. So we breathe continuously, we ascend slowly, and we never dive alone.
I have just one quick question.
Yes.
Will your, I know what you said, never ascend too quickly, and it's 9 meters per minute. Will your computer tell you that?
Most dive computers will tell you. Mine's a little bit older, so I also have a dive watch, so I can watch the time on my watch and also see the depth on my computer.
Thank you.
I will be the today's instructor, your instructor. Okay. You know, all of us have this kind of discomfort during our descending into the water, into our ears, and if you, most of it, the free divers, they can feel the mask. The mask squeeze. So I want to tell you that we have two types of that pressure affections. One is to our body, and the other is to our equipment. So the objectives today.